One, two, three, I never do two takes. Hi there! I hope you all are doing well. I know I haven't done this in a while. I'm sorry I've been away. I thought I'd drop in and, you know, give you some recommendations if you happen to be sitting around with nothing to do next couple of days. Thinking, hey, maybe I should check in on some interesting disco flavored music history. Well, here's a guy that I've been wanting to mention, and for me it's like if you ever do. At this point, there are countless mockumentaries out there that are about like a guy who was in the middle of the music scene, who saw and did all these amazing great things, but he wasn't a real person. Well, for me, there actually is like one, at least one guy who was kind of like that, and that's Adrian Gurvitz. Adrian and his brother Paul Gurvitz were the sons of a dude who was the tour manager of the Shadows and the Kinks in Britain in the 1960s. And by the age of 15, Adrian Gurvitz was touring himself. While he was still a teenager, he had his own band. By the time he was 18, he wandered into the brilliant realization that there was no band in Britain named The Gun. So he took it. And then he realized there was no song called Race with the Devil. So he took that. And by the age of 18, he had a hit song on his hands that Jimi Hendrix frickin' loved and was playing. And that actually drew Adrian Gurvitz into the Jimi Hendrix sphere of influence, so that when Jimi Hendrix died in 1970, Buddy Miles needed a guitarist, and he looked to guitar scion and child prodigy Adrian Gurvitz and said, hey, how'd you like to handle Jimmy's part of my little thing? So they did for the next 2 years, just making bank, cashing in on, tour obligations that they had. Actually was part of it. Anyways, it went on from there. This kid was just magic. Everything he did, he teamed up with like some dudes from the Moody Blues for a while and stuff like that. And then came the Baker Gurvitz Army, which, like, if you love hard rock and have somehow managed to miss the Baker Gurvitz Army, oh my God, you're in for such a treat, man. In addition to the great Ginger Baker on drums, at a time when I believe he was actually partially clean even, and thinking about what he was doing, it also has the amazing Mr. Snips on vocals. And that's why the Gurvitz brothers stayed kind of back from the main vocals of the Baker Gurvitz Army, is because you had the awesome Mr. Snips. Now, Mr. Snips appears to have discovered cocaine about 5 years before everyone else, and in 1978 he completely spun out and did this totally weird David Bowie coked up fucking 1980s album in 1978 that nobody liked and everybody forgot about. But Adrian Gurvitz at the exact same time got signed to Jet Records, and they're like, how would you like to make a disco album for us? And he said, okay, can I bring my brother into it? And they're like, yeah, sure. He's like, can I bring in the Porcaro Brothers? I hope I'm saying that right. I'm probably not. But it's those three dudes who were in the middle of the whole frickin' jazz fusion scene in the 1970s in Britain. Every single one of them is great. Together, the five of them in a horn section made what is like a straight up the rails quintessential frickin' disco album called Sweet Vendetta. And it was followed up a little after with two other albums that are also very, very perfectly disco, and also a little bit ahead of the changing times, as Adrian always kind of was. It's he was always right in the middle of all of that, and the guitar parts that he has are often so intricate they're practically hidden inside of what he's doing. A little bit like, dare I say, like Robert Fripp was doing about the same time when he also was hiding behind, well, Adrian Belew, among other things. Anyways, with all of that in mind, that gives you a wonderful opportunity to discover an entire genre, or, well, no, 3 or 4 different genres of really, really frickin' awesome music that, for whatever reason, never quite made the grade in the United States. Now, the Gurvitz name is hardly forgotten in Great Britain and nor in Australia, where they actually latched onto them first. But here in the United States, not so well known. So there you go, man. This one's kind of a little bit like Madeline Bell, like too great to contain within the disco jar, right? Like, you gotta look at this dude and say, oh my god, he's so effing awesome. He was great for decades across many genres, because I guess some people who are truly great can do whatever they want. So there you have it. I hope you enjoy that. I'll hook you up with a bunch of stuff to check out. But if you're just doing it by ear and want to spin up some stuff, check out The Gun, check out the Baker Gurvitz Army, and then check out Adrian Gurvitz and his 3 beautiful solo albums of the late 70s and 1980. To wit, Sweet Vendetta, the other one I can't remember, and Il Assassino. So there you go. Have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon.